Hello, everybody. Welcome to the CT Sports Talent Show. My name is Christopher Saunders. I'm pleased to have on with me a former Sheehan quarterback rather, now at Western New England College, or whether Western New England University, I should say. Paul Gorry's with me, freshman quarterback. Paul, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to be able to have you back on again. I had you when you were at Sheehan. You guys had a fantastic year, just came up short. And obviously, I know you did great work on the baseball diamond as well. But with you being able to choose just football, obviously, you and I were just chatting a little bit about the adjustment from the high school game to the college game as far as with preparation and adding in college courses and such. How are you doing so far with that?
Yeah, I definitely would say so far I'm doing pretty good with it. It's obviously a lot to take in at once. It's college. It's definitely a lot different than high school, more responsibility, just a lot more to do. But I think so far, I've been doing a pretty good job just managing my time with football classes, study hours, all that. And I've definitely been making a pretty good adjustment so far. It could be hard at some points and times, but I think I've done a pretty good job overall, and it's gotten easier definitely as I go on because I just get more used to it by doing it every single day. But it's definitely a lot different, but I think I'm adjusting very well.
Was there any part either during preseason, maybe it was once games started, where, the quote unquote struggles of trying to go through with classes and tests, obviously making sure you get enough sleep and also sticking to the routine each and every day. Was there any difficulties with any of that?
Yeah, I think yeah, there's been like times where I'll like have like a test or quiz the next day and I'm like, I want to stay up and study, make sure I know this because you're getting back late from football and doing stuff you need to do. Just think the most important part is just making sure I get my sleep in, studying and then also managing football, managing all that. I think that's definitely important. One thing I learned, and I've even asked my brother a bunch about this. He goes like, make sure don't like overstudy and like force yourself not to get enough sleep. And that's something I definitely been taking in his advice because I look up to him a lot, and I
Mhm.
know for a fact that doing what he's telling me is going to help me out because he's also an engineer too, and it's definitely important to get your sleep and also study and not overthink things. And I'm just glad to have someone like him to be able to help me out this whole thing because it's definitely very helpful.
From the attrition side, obviously the old saying is everybody gains the freshman 15, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, when it comes to football, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. It depends on what the 15 looks like. And I know you haven't been in college too long, but have you tried to kind of change your body a little bit? I mean, what have you kind of done with that so far?
I think I kind of haven't really gained like a lot of weight right now or lost a lot of weight. I definitely have lost a lot of weight. Well, a decent amount of weight more towards like the preseason in the summer when it was hotter.
Mhm.
Right now I'm at the point in time where I kind of just want to, gain a couple of pounds, maybe get up to 15-ish just to kind of like be able to take hits and just protect my body a little bit more. That's kind of what I've been doing right now.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I mean that's kind of right now where I've been eating as much as I can in a day, working out, just doing what I can do to make my body like the best it could be for the season.
How was it going through the preseason? Because it must have been a little bit different than going through, high school practices. What was
Yeah.
that like?
I think it was definitely uh, very nice because it was nice to be able to have like people just it's like a big family and a big community. That's one thing if I could take away so far right now about W&E is it's a big family here. The football team is amazing. Everyone we're all bought in. We're one team. And just it's kind of good to have guys like that to get you through the preseason because it could be difficult here and there. There's definitely moments where it's hot, you're running, you're learning an offense, just all of that. And I think the coaches and players have done a great job to help me out with that because it definitely having the support by them helped me out just to feel good about things, and it definitely made it a lot easier. But there's important times I think it was a little difficult, but overall I think it was pretty straightforward for me to get through because I think Coach Razi at Sheen helped me out a lot to, be in that mindset, to be able to handle. And I definitely am grateful that I had that experience.
Now, what was it like as far as your mindset? Because I know obviously as a competitor as you are, you want to start, you want to be the QB1, right? But there is a quarterback ahead of you, Brady Lafferty, former quarterback at Southington, also been on the podcast a couple times, was originally at UNH and now he's at WNE. Do you think in some ways being able to, and I know again, you want to be out there as much as possible, but do you think early on it kind of was good in some ways? And I know it different, it's different depending on each player, but being able to step back and watch how the game is played a little bit rather than being jumped right in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely. I think it was definitely really good to be able to have someone like Brady in front of me because Brady, he's a great quarterback. I'm glad to be able to be behind him and watch him and learn a lot from him because he's definitely a very big help for me with this learning the offense because whenever there was questions that I had, I would always ask him. He would always help me out, and I definitely really appreciate that from him. And honestly, I'm just taking in my role right now. My role is just always be ready. I'm gonna work my tail off. I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna get better every single day. At the end of the day, that's my goal, my mindset every single day when I go to the field. Just get one better every day, and that's all I really can do. Just keep learning, keep getting better, keep taking in. The coaches have been amazing. I'm definitely grateful to have amazing coaches. And that's just my goal every single day, get better.
Your performance that you had the game, which is why I appreciate you being able to come on here, where you had four touchdowns total, two passing, two throwing, being able to do what you were able to do with Brady being injured at the time. Do you feel like in some ways, regardless, I think if it was good or bad, the fact that you were able to get on the field and kind of get your feet wet is awesome. But for an added bonus to also succeed as you did, right? I feel like in a lot of ways it kind of adds more to the okay, what I'm doing is right as far as your weekly routine. Like you said, you're making sure you're prepared, you're ready, just in case of an emergency. I mean, playing quarterback, I mean, you saw Derek Carr, he got hurt yesterday in the Kansas City game, and then the backup had to come in the whole night. You just never know with football injuries. So do you
Yeah.
feel like your performance in the previous game helped with your overall okay mindset of what I'm doing is right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely, in practices it shows kind of like, how I've been doing better and, having more success. And then obviously going out there and doing it in a game, definitely gave me confidence to know like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing you know, doing everything I should be doing. Obviously there's a lot for me to improve on. I'm young, I'm gonna improve on it because I'm always willing to get better at any aspect of the game, no matter what. But it definitely helped out to make me understand like, all right, let's just keep doing this. Let's keep getting better. Let's keep having the same approach and mindset every single week. And that's just all I'm going to continue to do because I know if I keep doing that, then I'll just keep getting better. And it's that's my goal.
When you were, when you stepped on the field for the first time and you got the play call, I mean, were you anxious? Were you nervous? What was going through your mind when you took that first snap?
Honestly, if I'm going to be honest with you, I honestly always thought my first play I was going to be nervous, but I got out there and it felt natural to me. It's like, all right, let's go do it. And I wasn't honestly, surprisingly, I was not that nervous, and I just was like, all right, let's go do this.
Now, take me into the touchdown. You score the first one. What was that like? Because there's never going to be the first touchdown. You scored your first varsity touchdown, or not varsity, first college touchdown. Sorry, I'm still in the high school mode. What was that like, dude?
It was definitely nice. I'm not gonna lie. It was a very very good feeling because it's like, all right, I'm back in the end zone, for the first time in a long time, and it's like it's a college touchdown. So it felt great. It felt amazing to finally, be there and have that feeling. And I was definitely really, psyched about it. And I was like, wow, this is a really nice feeling. And it was a very good experience.
When I think about the last time you were on the field, it was against Joe Barlow, correct, in the playoff game, right?
Yeah, Joe Barlow.
So when I think about that game, and then I think about what you were able to do stepping back on, obviously I know two different games. One was a playoff game, one, this one being a regular season game. But the last time that you stepped on the field was in your last game as a high school player, and then now you stepping on as a college player. If you were to look back, if you could go back in time and talk to your high school self, right? I know it's not too far ago, but being able to kind of look at it from now 7, 8 months later, whatever it's been, what would you tell your high school self? I'm just curious.
I mean, I think it's don't like um don't like worry about like I guess something ending like because in my eyes, like obviously I was really down when that game because it was just a heartbreaking end to all of that. So I guess, if I'm gonna tell myself one thing that I wish I could say at that moment when it happened is don't worry, more time to come. Like you're gonna have 4 more years in college to have, a fun time playing the game you love. And I think, that's definitely important because obviously there's some kids on that field that I shared the field with that are my teammates that was their last ever game. And I think if I would have to tell myself one thing is like you still have 4 more years of this. And it's not like, your buddies that you played with that don't have any more time left. And I think that's something that would, if I would have to say something to myself back then, it'd be that.
Is there any possibility of you potentially playing baseball for Western New England? Any chance?
Uh, Most likely not. I think because I need, I'm a goal is to stick to football and play spring ball and just, focus on that.
I mean, hey, you had a great season for baseball. I mean, I was following you from afar as far as being able to see what you were doing. You were hitting tanks, you were dealing on the bump. I mean, are you going to miss it at all? Maybe a little?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna miss it because it's I've been playing it since I was like 5 years old. So, but I think it's football is my love and uh I love the sport a lot. But definitely I think I'll miss it. Yeah.
One more question for you, Paul, and I really appreciate you coming on. What was it like, because you mentioned how your parents go to every single game, and that's awesome. After the game when it was over, um, who was the first person you spoke to? I'm sure it was your mom, right? Or was it your
Yeah,
dad?
yeah. My mom.
Okay, I figured that one. But what did your dad say? Because I can imagine what he said, but I want to hear it from your words. What did he say after the game?
He went out to me and he was like I'm very proud of you. You put the work in every single day and I'm just very proud of you that it's paying off. Just keep being you and keep doing what you've been doing because it's good enough and I'm very proud of you, son. And that's what I expect from him because he knows how much me and my brother put into this sport every single day.
And hearing that too must have given you a little bit more. And maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like that probably meant more than the four touchdowns that you had
For
in
sure.
terms of rushing and passing, right? Because it
Yeah,
came from your
for
dad
sure.
and it came from the heart, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, it's when you have someone who you love a lot and it's a very important part of your life who says that, it definitely makes you feel a lot better than, score. Obviously, the four touchdowns feel nice, but when you hear that, it makes you feel like accomplished, like you're doing the right thing.
Well, Paul, you know what? Something tells me, again, I want to see Brady do very well. Don't get hurt again. But hey, it's always good, to have a backup quarterback who can produce and do just as well as a starting quarterback. And something tells me those touchdowns will not be the last that you are a part of during your time. Hopefully, not just this year, but in the years to come. So, Paul, I really appreciate you coming on, buddy. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
That wrap things up in the CT Sports Talent Show. As next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. Enjoy, find them all. Enjoy the show, everybody, and be well.